My jealous twin brother framed me for theft, so I made sure he lives on the streets. Having a twin sounds cool, right? Like having a built-in best friend for life? Wrong. It's only cool if your twin isn't a walking embodiment of envy, entitlement, and unfiltered pettiness. Unfortunately, my brother Kyle is all three. It started small like it always does. We shared everything growing up: clothes, toys, even birthdays. But Kyle? He always had to have more. If I got a new video game for Christmas, he'd borrow it and somehow forget to give it back. If I got a compliment from our parents, he'd find a way to spin it into, well, I did something better last week. He couldn't stand to see me win, even when it had nothing to do with him. I thought I was finally free when we moved out and got our own apartments. Wrong again. Our parents convinced me to let Kyle stay with me just for a couple weeks after he got laid off from his job. He quit. I figured, sure, it's family, and it'll be temporary. The first week was fine, but by week 2, his guest status had turned into tenant with no rent. He took over the couch, played video games on my console, and somehow managed to empty the fridge faster than I could fill it. It got worse when I noticed he'd been inviting his friends over while I was at work. I came home one night to find them using my kitchen as a frat house buffet, eating my leftovers, and laughing like they owned the place. When I confronted him, he gave me that classic Kyle smirk. Chill out, bro. We're family. What's mine is yours, right? Yeah. And what's yours is also somehow yours, huh? I shot back. He just laughed, like it was a joke. Then came the laptop incident. I work remotely, and my laptop is my livelihood. One morning, I woke up to find it missing from my desk. I asked Kyle if he'd seen it, and he hit me with, "Nah, I haven't touched it." I started looking around, thinking maybe I misplaced it. Then I noticed something strange. A text from Kyle's phone lit up on the kitchen counter. It was from one of his friends, and the preview said, "Yo, let me know if he buys it." I picked up the phone and checked the entire message thread. Don't judge me. It turns out Kyle was trying to sell my laptop to one of his friends. He even sent pictures of it, saying, "I'll get it to you by tomorrow." My bro never notices his stuff is missing. I was fuming. I stormed into the living room where he was playing my PS5 and tossed the controller out of his hands. "Where is it, Kyle?" I yelled. He had the nerve to look offended. "Why you trippin', bro? I was just borrowing it to show a friend." "Don't play dumb, Kyle." I saw the messages. Silence. He blinked at me briefly, then his face twisted into a scowl. "Whatever, man. You act like you're better than me just cause you got a decent job. Must be nice having everything handed to you." Handed to me? I busted my back to get this job. Kyle quit his last 3 jobs because they expected too much. I was done. I told him to pack his stuff and leave by the weekend. He laughed and said, "Yeah, we'll see." 2 days later, I woke up to a call from HR. "Hey, we received a report that you've been accessing sensitive files you shouldn't be touching," said my manager. "We're going to have to review your work history." What? I don't even have access to those files. But as soon as I hung up, I knew. Kyle. He'd used my laptop before. I'd seen him messing with it when I wasn't home. But I never thought he'd go this far. When I confronted him, he didn't even deny it. "Shouldn't have been dumb enough to leave your login saved, bro," he sneered. "Maybe you'll learn to respect me now." Respect? No, no more respect. It was time for payback. First, I took back my laptop. While Kyle was out with his friends, I reset the passwords for every device in the house. Laptop, Wi-Fi, streaming accounts, everything. I also locked down my bank accounts, just in case. Then, I got clever. I remembered Kyle's important documents folder, which he always kept in his backpack. He carried it everywhere and was super secretive about it. So, one night, while he was passed out after a long night of drinking with his friends, I checked it out. Bingo. Inside were old pay stubs, a fake ID, and a list of usernames and passwords. We are freeloading off multiple people's streaming accounts, family, friends, and even old exes. So I did the most petty, most satisfying thing. I took screenshots of everything and sent them anonymously to the account owners. Revenge wasn't done yet, though. I emailed my parents, explaining that Kyle had been scamming them, selling my stuff, and nearly getting me fired. I attached screenshots of his texts with his friends, including the one where he called our mom a clueless old hag. I called my landlord and reported Kyle as an unauthorized tenant. The landlord wasn't happy. Kyle was given a week to vacate. When Kyle found out, he went ballistic. He stormed into my room yelling, "You're ruining my life." I laughed right in his face. "Ruining your life? I'm giving you what you deserve, bro." He lunged at me, thinking I'd back down. Wrong. I shoved him so hard he fell right on his butt. "Get out before I call the cops." He sat there stunned, breathing heavily, looking like he had just realized his free ride was over. "Mom's not gonna forgive you," he muttered, eyes darting like he was thinking of a plan. "She already did," I said, showing him the text from our mom. She called him a disappointment and said he wasn't welcome home either. I heard Kyle's living in a shelter now because nobody will take him in.